Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Studio City Aftershow. And see, I have a lovely guest with me today here on JLJ Media. I'm James Law Jr., the JLJ and JLJ Media. I talked to the young star who made waves in this series. So she has a special connection to some folks behind the scenes, but she made a connection for me on screen. I'm so excited to talk about her role as Delilah on the Amazon Prime Emmy-nominated hit series, Studio City. Here's my friend, Juliet Vega. Hi, Juliet.
Hi, James. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, and nice meeting all of you who are watching.
Yes, the folks who are watching this, and some folks know who you are, of course, from the show. First of all, congratulations. You did a
Thank you.
wonderful job. You did a wonderful, wonderful job on
Thank
the show.
you. Thank you so much. That genuinely means so much. Like,
Yeah.
it was improv. You probably heard this from the other people, my other castmates, but like a lot of it was improv. So we were all really nervous of how like we were going to turn out. But I'm so glad to hear like you say that you liked it. So thank you.
Everybody on the show has talked about how fast paced it was.
Yeah.
How did you handle that?
I was so scared. I was really scared. I mean, okay, so for the first season, I guess I kind of call it like season 1, season 2, because obviously like switched. It all counts as season 1 technically, but like it's easier to just refer to it in that way.
Yeah.
Season 1 definitely was a lot more. It was before COVID, so it was a lot easier. We all had a script, and for the most part, it was still really fast paced, definitely. And like I got brought on really late, so I had to like catch up to everyone. And yeah, but the second season or the rest of season 1 was really intense. Like I know Sarah came in, I think she got her script like the night before, and she was going through a lot. I remember her saying on set, like during that time period, and killed it, was absolutely amazing. Like
Oh yeah.
I watched it. She was insanely good. And I was like, how did you get your script the night before? Not even like the day, like the night before. And she killed it. And I was like, it was unreal to me. But and they had the most dialogue. Like I had a lot, and I ended up having to learn a lot like the night before too. But a lot of mine got cut because we didn't have time for it. So, and they're the ones that are like more, important to the story. So obviously they're gonna first. But yeah, I was blown away. It was tough. Luckily, I kind of like got a little bit lucky because a lot of my stuff got cut, and I kind of just had like a few scenes I had to improv, and it was like fine, I guess. But yeah, I was super proud of them, and not that I like doubted them, but
I know what you mean. It's just, it was a nice surprise. You're like, for what they have to do at the last minute, and she did kill it. Her, Tristan Rogers, they all just killed. They killed it.
yeah, like a testament to their talent and just all of them. And I was watching the show the other day with my sister and Carolyn Hennessy. Oh my god, so funny. I was watching the one part where she's like, you're useless, and I could not stop laughing. I was like, because I knew she probably made that up, so I was like, she's brilliant. It was just, all of them are so great. But yeah, it was definitely very.
You had a scene in the second half of that first season where you call your father, your dad. You're sitting on the couch, and I loved your authenticity. It was like you made the phone call, you're talking to, it's very awkward, like it should be. It was authentically awkward, and you're kind of like you call him dad, but then you kind of like catch yourself, and you like call him Sam. Like I was tell you that was just a very authentic scene for someone who would be going through that, I think.
Thank you. I mean, that was one of the scenes that I improv'd, and the director, Tim, it wasn't his fault. It was more of just like everyone was so busy, they didn't have time to tell me. But I came to shoot that day, and I was there for hours, so I literally could have had time to prepare it. But obviously, like everyone was running around, no one had time to tell me. They were like, okay, like the scene that you're gonna do, because I shot 2 scenes that day. It was the one by the pool where I'm talking to Sam. That one I had a script for, and that one was like fine. But then they still didn't know what they were going to do with the story, because they didn't know how much more they were going to have time to film. So Tim was like, okay, let's just shoot like something of you basically like calling, because if you're not in any of the other scenes, it like needs to make sense somehow. So he 5 minutes before is like, okay, so you have your scene ready, right? And I'm like, I'm like, what scene? And he's like, you're gonna call Sam and it's gonna be really emotional, and you just have to call him and just like tell him like da 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 whatever. And I was like, because I'm not very good at improv. I get really, really nervous. And that was like a lot of my issue in like the first half of the first season, is not really knowing my lines yet, because I was brought on so late and just getting so nervous and like freezing. And then like I do this thing where which I watch it back and maybe it's not noticeable, but when I watch it, I do this thing that when I'm improving, I go, I don't know if this is wrong. Like I say that every time. So like if you caught that in like the beginning of the first season and then like the second half, then you can tell I was like bullshitting basically, or like coming up with something on the spot. But I'm so glad that you liked it. So thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like in that moment, I feel like I just kind of learned, like when you take a ton of acting classes, you kind of have to do that a lot anyway with improv, or like when you're doing a scene, you forget a line or whatever. And you just kind of, I feel like, pull from inspiration. And I just was already in like a sad mood that day. So I was like, all right, perfect. Let's do it. I was like, great.
Yeah, because your character is so interesting, because you come on, I remember your first appearance. You come on and they're making jokes like, is that your new girlfriend? Or because he dates younger women and stuff. And I remember that the ending of that first day, you're like, no, I'm your daughter. And we're like just off the bat, we're like, I didn't know that's be that kind of storyline. We had no clue. We saw that his character was going through the whole soap opera thing and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, that's a story. What? There's a thing. He's a kid. And there was some great scene. There's a great scene also between you and Sarah Joy Brown that first half, where we're at the bar, and I love Tim's direction. It's like very noir, dark. You're watching the old TV and you see him on TV, and then you got to turn off, and then she gives you a sandwich, and it was very much, you guys had this great rapport. So you're working with a 3-time Emmy winner. I mean, you're working with somebody who's like,
that was the most nerve-wracking thing ever, and it was the first time I met Sarah. So I don't think, okay, actually, interestingly enough, I think when I was really young, I might have met her before, because she posted a photo a really long time ago, I think, and it was like on Halloween, and I saw my sisters in a photo with her, and I was like, I must have been there. But I remember, but to my knowledge, it was my first time like really meeting her, and I knew who she was, obviously, and was so nervous because I knew she was brilliant, like as everyone is on show. And I was just so nervous because it was like the first scene that I was gonna have, like not with Sean. And with Sean, obviously I'm more comfortable because I know him more. And with her, I was just like, I don't want to mess up. Like, and I knew she was gonna be great. So I was like, I can't mess this up. And then I met her and she could not have been more nice. Yeah. Like so sweet, helped me run lines and made me feel so comfortable, was like hyping me up the entire time. Just genuinely like the sweetest, most talented.
Sounds like her. She is one of the sweetest people.
Crazy. It's just crazy how lucky you get when you're working and you meet just these amazing people. And I've yet to have a bad experience where I hear so many times like from my friends that also act that they work with people that they don't like, and I've never had that. So I don't know, I've just been really lucky. So
yeah, it makes sense that when you work with somebody who, who's good at their craft, it really makes you step up your game. It kind of hypes you up yourself to go, okay, I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to be the weakest link. I want to make sure. And you did. You held your own. You held your own with her. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you have to step it up. You can't be lazy. Just go into it and go, oh, I'll just act however. It's like, no, because she's good. I mean, she can not speak and be good. I mean, that's how good many of those actors are on there.
Yeah, next level. It was definitely insane. And it's interesting you bring that up also because she did soaps and Sean did as well. And I mean, most of everyone on the show I think did soaps. Yeah. So you watch them and it's like a different breed almost, because they like are used to getting something from like remembering Sean like growing up. Oops, sorry, I got a notification. Remember Sean when he would like memorize his lines and everything, and he would have like pages per day. And I was like, I can't even study for like my math test without like forgetting everything. How do you remember this? Like I was, it's still such a struggle, and I've had to invent like my own ways of how to memorize things, but it's crazy. And for all of them, like I don't know how they do it. It's like superhuman. But
so how are you teaching yourself to remember lines? I know it's a muscle. I've done some acting. It's not. It's a muscle of some sort. So how are you figuring it out?
Yeah, so what I've kind of learned now, my own technique is I could read something a million times and I wouldn't remember it. Like it's just my brain. I don't know what's wrong with it. It just I don't know why. But if I listen to something as if I'm listening to music, it makes it easier. So if I have an audition or something, or if I'm working, then I kind of will just record myself very awkwardly. It always sounds kind of a little bit insane, especially when people overhear it. It's just like me seemingly just talking to myself. But I'll just record like my lines like music, and then I'll just keep saying it over and over and over and over again, as much as I can. And then finally, like it kind of seeps through, and it kind of like it goes in that way. And also, a big thing I like to do is like substitutions for sure, where I really have to have a very clear intention and substitution. Otherwise, like I'm really good at just like it will just make no sense, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of like my little technique, but definitely still
And
working.
the longer you do it, the more you do it, you'll develop that.
Yeah, it gets easier and easier, definitely. So
Easier.
yeah.
So we gotta tell folks, we gotta be, full disclosure. So who are you related to that's part of the behind the scenes of this show?
So my mom, who is Michelle Kanan, and then Sean, my stepdad, Sean Kanan, who is Sam. You guys probably know most.
Yes.
So them,
Yeah.
they're
Yes, I love them. I love them both. They're my friends. So how did the role come to you? Did they come to you and say, "Would you like to do this?" Did you come to them? Like, how did that happen? I don't know. I actually don't know the story.
I definitely, they did not come to me.
Okay, I was just sure because I don't know the story. Actually, I don't know the story.
So basically what happened is Sean had been writing this, and my mom, for quite some time. Like it was like, I think like a year or two before it ever even came out, and it was called something completely different. It was called The Bubble. But they'd been working on it for a really long time, and they never considered me for it. Just because like he imagined someone way younger and
Okay.
old. So Delilah originally was like 14, 13. So he was just like, no, like I just don't see you for it, like you're much too old, like we need someone way younger. And I was like, that's fine. And like just, obviously I wanted to do it, but I was like, that's, that it just is what it is. So yeah, I just kind of watched as they were like in the process of it. And then I don't know what happened. I think it was like they were doing auditions and they weren't finding anyone, and they were like kind of running short for time, and they were like, okay, like this is like a stretch, but would you want to audition for it, because we're just not finding anyone else. And I was like, all right, like yeah, like, I'll do it. I was in New York at the time, so I flew back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I flew back, and then I read for Tim and then with Sean, and then Tim was like, okay, like yeah. And then I didn't really know what it was, and I was like, oh, did I just like what just happened? I didn't know if I got the part or not. And she's like, I think that, yeah. He's like, I think that means it's it, like that you're it and that you're gonna do it. And then yeah, that's kind of just how it went. And then from then on, they were already like in the process of filming. I was like, okay. So I was like, better learn my lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it went down.
Cool. That's very cool. When did the acting bug hit you?
I was actually really young, and it's funny you mentioned that because I was going through some of my old photos trying to delete some stuff, and I found a photo of my first headshot when I was 5 years old. So I started acting actually when I was really young. Like I started doing plays and stuff when I was like 4 or 5, something like. I just always loved performing. I grew up doing ballet and like hated ballet but loved performing. So like kind of my mom kind of like put two and two together and was like, okay, so if you like performing, you don't like ballet, like let's try acting. And then just like obviously fell in love with it ever since. And then from then on, like I did some stuff when I was younger, and then kind of fell out of it because I was in school and then just had a ton of stuff going on. And then once I was like out of school, I was able to kind of immerse myself back into that world, luckily. And now I've just been doing it ever since. And yeah.
That's very cool. What are you working on? Anything you talk about you're working on now? Or are you working on some secret projects? I know sometimes you can't tell things, but are you working on something right now?
I don't know if it's secret. I mean, I've done two things, but I definitely don't think it's other people's projects that I'm lucky enough to be in, just like a small role. Like I just did a movie with Billy Zane, and he did
Okay.
I think it's called Waltzing with Brando, and I'm just like a small part in the beginning. In the movie, just like a fan, I think. So I just said that. I'm trying to think of what else. Right now, I'm not doing anything. Right now, it's like more auditioning. But during quarantine, I've been lucky enough to like do a couple things. Like I did a crime reenactment show, which was actually it was my dream to do that because my absolute dream is to be on SVU, and that's been my dream since I was like 7 years old. So I was like, I saw it, and I was like, I must be in the show. Like I must.
So funny.
Yeah. So I saw that also. I don't really know what else. I like forget a lot. I think that's so far recently, but yeah, I think that's it. And then like Studio City, obviously we filmed it.
You will be on SVU, folks. We're putting it out to the speaking into existence. The show is still on. The show's still on.
I will be on SVU. I will be on SVU. Yeah, that's oh my god, I would kill to be on SVU. Like always, I've always wanted to do it. Like it would even if just like a street like what's it called? Even if I was just like in the background, like an extra, like I would do it. I would fly all the way to New York and be an extra. Like I was
going to ask you, do you want to be a dead person, or do you want to be a villain, or wait, what do you want to be on there?
Okay, my dream would be to be the villain, but I would want to start off as like the victim. Like they think like she's the victim, but then she's actually like that would be so cool. But like even if they asked me, they were like, oh, we just need like a body double for like a dead body, I'd be like, okay, I'll do it. Like I'll do it for free. So I would do it. But yeah,
I love it. That's so funny. So you like that? So you like that stuff, the crime stuff? Ooh, okay, procedural crime stuff.
I like the drama, the action. I would love to be in either like kind of either genre just because I like the idea of really challenging roles and pushing yourself and like the what's it called? The effect makeup and like the action, the stunts, all of that. I would love to like the idea of training for something or doing something crazy like shaving your head for a role. I would do it. Like I love just those things that kind of take you out of your element and your shell and kind of just push you into a different role that like you're not comfortable like with, I guess. I don't know.
So well, no, it sounds like you wouldn't mind being a nice working character actress where you're out there doing different roles, and they say, you know, shave your head, you always wear wigs for a while until the hair grows back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that. I just kind of came across a role the other day where it was like I didn't fit the part because I don't have blue eyes, but they were like, "Oh, must be okay with shaving head," and I was like, "I'll do it." And then obviously I didn't fit the role.
See, that's funny. See, now I want to ask you because some folks are like, "Well, everything's shut down." I was telling them that there's still a lot of auditioning happening behind the scenes and pre-production happening on things. They may not be on a set somewhere yet, but there's casting calls going out, right? Still going out.
It's definitely kind of like a pick and choose kind of a situation because there are some projects that probably aren't being as safe as you would like. And I feel like definitely like when the cases spiked, I completely stopped. I was like, I can't. Like I just can't even look for anything to audition for right now because I was just too scared and like I didn't want to. I live with my sister and I didn't want to like put her at risk. No, and especially if like certain people aren't doing COVID testing or aren't really taking it seriously. I was just like, I just didn't want to, do that. Now as it's kind of getting a little bit better, like if I know they're being safe, for sure I'll do it. It just obviously like you just really never know. So it's definitely like, you just have to decide what's worth it and what isn't.
I agree with that completely. Same with me. I pick and choose in certain things now. We're open up. I today for the first time. I went out and ate today for the first time in 2 months. It felt so good. I was in Manhattan Beach and I had a little nice set outside with my friend. I'm like, I'm being served. Thank you. I'm being served. I cook all the time.
I actually haven't been to a restaurant like since February. Like I haven't actually like sat while like I've done takeout, but like I haven't actually like been to one. I am so scared and
I'll blame you, girl.
Yeah, I'm terrified. And like my dad, he's a pulmonologist, so he gets all of the COVID patients and he's constantly just like my little fear monger. but in a way that's, productive, where he's like, be safe. He gets patients my age that die. And it's like, it's really sad and horrible. And I just am overly careful, and I don't have the strongest immune system, so I kind of have to be. But yeah, it's definitely it's really I feel really bad for everyone right now that's struggling.
So which coast is it for you? Do you like East Coast or West Coast better?
I think East Coast, but I think I have my friends here on
Yeah.
the West Coast. So I like that, and I love I don't know, I guess I like the weather better, but I think like East Coast is just kind of a different I don't know, like kind of a different vibe. I hate that word, but
I,
I'm just
but it is. I know what you mean. I hate that word too.
it,
It's
it it just like when you're there, there's something about it that just makes you feel so powerful. Like you just I don't know what it is.
true.
Like it's just nice, and I just also like I love New York so much, and if I could like every second of every day or like live there, I would. But right now,
I love New
so
York. I love New York's my magic city, so I love New York. My family's from New York. I love New York. So
oh, they are.
yeah.
What part of New York are they from?
Okay, so two places, girl. Get ready. So
All
from
right.
Fort Hamilton Parkway in Brooklyn, so that's like Fort Hamilton on East Fourth, right there by Prospect Park. That's one part, and then the other part's from 155th in Amsterdam. So up way up there in Jackson Heights. My mom though was born in Spanish Harlem, Lexington and Third, or 101st between Lexington and Third. She was over there, but they moved further up. They went further up, so they're way up there. And
Oh,
I love both places. I love both. I love going to Alphabet City. I love being in the village. I mean, I love. I've been going there since I was a kid. So visiting my
yeah,
grandparents and stuff. I love it.
same. Like all my best childhood memories are like in New York, so I feel like that's why it's like very sentimental to me.
It's a city where you have to be really strong and assured is independent. You can just even get on the subways, even getting around. It's a small, dense city. It's very dense and tall buildings there, but it's very much a concrete jungle. But it's like everybody's moving and grooving. They got their stuff going on. Everybody's minding their own business. I love it where it's much slower pace on here, which I like too sometimes. But I kind of miss that walk. It's a walking city. You can walk everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm still a walking girl. I never learned how to drive. No one ever
Oh,
taught.
buddy.
Yeah, I walk everywhere. And my kind of like go to like way around used to be Uber, but like with COVID, like I try to limit my Uber rides as much as possible unless I absolutely have to. And like it sucks that like when I have to go on set sometimes, it's like really far away. So I'll have to like sit in the car and I'm just like
Yeah, I know. I know. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Right here. Yeah, don't say anything.
I just get so scared, unless like one of my sisters are able to drive me. But yeah, it can be scary sometimes. But I love walking. I think walking is the most therapeutic thing on the planet. I miss the days like before COVID where you could just walk without a mask,
Yeah.
without getting masked me. Cause like when I walk, I don't know about you, I walk miles. I can
Me too.
walk, I walk 7 miles in a day and
Mhm.
like won't even notice. And then I'll be wearing like a mask and I'm like, oh cool, like some new acne after this. But I miss just being able to walk and like not have to like stay really far away from people and
I agree.
it's,
No, I'm a walker too. I'm a big proponent of walking. And everybody's like, "Oh, you always walk everywhere." Back in the old days, you walked everywhere. I said, "I did walk everywhere, but now I gotta be careful where I go." And
yeah, ugh, it
oh,
sucks.
I don't
It
know.
really, but I
We're
mean,
gonna get to it.
one day we'll be able to walk
Yes,
and everyone won't have to worry about it. We'll get that moment again.
yes, I have to believe so. Juliet, you're the best. You're great. It's so good talking to you and meeting with you. And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing what more in your career happens. You have to come back, and as things happen, we'll have more chats. But it's very nice
Well,
to meet you.
thank you. So nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Juliet Vega, she is on this whole, I guess we say full season now of Studio City, which is on Amazon Prime. Go ahead and watch it there. They're really good episodes. Like she's saying, when she said her co-stars are killing it, she's killing it. It's a great series. Even if you don't watch soaps, it's a great series. It's one of those things where I think it's just a good drama. There's some great comedy in it. It gives you a glimpse behind the scenes of Hollywood. There's great storylines. Everybody from Patricia Darbo, who plays her grandmother, I guess, on the show, to Tristan Rogers, to Philip Bruin, to Erin Michelle Soto. All these people have been on the show, my show here. I know all my
yeah.
friends. Like I'm like, even if they weren't my friends, I still say watch it. They're good. It's good. It's good, folks. It's good. Juliet, tell me where they can find you on the social media if they want to follow you.
Oh, why do I always forget my at? I have just Instagram, so it's at Juliet _ Vega.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you can follow us at JLJ Media and James Lott Jr. all over, everywhere. We're everywhere, so just follow us there. And the rest of the episodes of Studio City After Show are on JLJ Media. There's a subscribe button down here somewhere. You can hit that button on YouTube and watch it. John was just on last week. I had Justin Torkelson on. I've had everybody on just about, except for a few people, but we're gonna get more on. But go ahead and watch those. And also I do reviews of every episode. And so I'll be doing reviews of episodes 7 through 11 coming up also, so you get a little guide of kind of what's going on. So watch Studio City, then come watch us. And then watch this interview and you can see what we're talking about. Everybody have a great day. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.